Welcome to the story of every man. We're going to continue a series that I started called Her Voice Movement. And tonight, the two authors that we have with us are Pam and Chris. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trinity's here for some support in case you need some backup, right? But I think we'll be all right.
I think so.
Okay.
I got your white pom-poms over here.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were here to hold me back.
All right. So, Pam, where were you born?
I was born in California. Yep.
How did you end up in Texas?
My mom married a Texan.
Do you remember what year that was?
1992.
1992?
Yeah.
Well, how old were you when you moved to Texas?
21. Yeah.
Okay. What was that transition like whenever you moved here?
Oh, we come driving in, and I'm like, where's all the horses? And the cowboys and the cowboy hats? What is going on here?
Y'all went.
And this is back when, so the Loop and Judson, and it was Brookshire's on the corner and nothing but pasture all the way out.
Oh, wow. Tell me about your education and your upbringing.
Single mom, 4 kids. She had 4 teenagers at one time, God bless her. And then not some church, a little church, here and there church, until I met the Lord at 14. And graduated high school, but started life. So I didn't go back and get my associates until I was 30, and now I'm 50 trying to do my bachelor's. So
Not bad. It's never too late.
no, never too late. It's harder the
Yes.
longer you wait.
Was your father, your biological father, was he around?
I was adopted.
You were adopted? Okay.
Yeah, the biological family, I left them at 6, and there was mom and dad at the time, and then when I was 12, they separated, divorced at 14, when I was 14, and so it was just mom trying to take care of everybody. So 16, I start working.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Were the other siblings, were they biological?
So I have
biological heirs?
one biological who was not adopted, and then 3 brothers that I acquired.
Okay. Good. Did y'all get along?
No.
No.
I was the only girl,
Yeah.
and I was the oldest. So the oldest of the 3 felt like I was usurping his authority, I think. I'm not sure. But there was a whole lot of catfights between him and I. And then the other 2 were so much younger.
Okay. And so you started working at 16?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
What did you start doing?
Carl's Jr.
What is that?
It's like a burger place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar, Carl's Jr. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't last long in Longview.
Wow. Carl's Jr. I'm trying to remember that.
I
But
love Carl Street.
It's in the Love's truck stop on the way to
Yeah.
on the way to Dallas.
okay. Okay. Wow.
Telling your age
So
there.
tell me about
I know, right?
your mom met someone, moved to Texas.
Yes.
What was that like for all the kids? Like her meeting somebody.
It was horrendous. He was the devil. So that was very traumatic. By the time we were here, we hadn't been here very long. It was just him and mom and me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The others.
No, he kicked them all out.
Oh, he kicked them out. They didn't
He
leave.
kicked them out.
Oh.
Or they left of their own volition instead of saying he kicked me out. But basically, he made it unbearable to live there. He was an alcoholic,
Okay.
verbally abusive, mentally abusive. Yeah. I ended up leaving because he propositioned me. And when I refused, he kicked me out.
How old were you when this happened?
18, 19.
Did you tell your mom?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you held out the longest
Yeah. Well, because I was worried about her. He was
Okay.
he was physically abusive to her.
to her.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody in the family wanted to go outside and share, like, this is happening. We need to resolve it.
Well, he moved her away from everybody.
Okay.
He brought her to Texas where she didn't know a soul, and then cut her off from everybody else.
Almost
Her sons that came with her, and I mean, he pretty much took over.
kind of textbook isolation.
Yes.
And then,
Exactly.
okay. That was already, like, y'all were already seeing some of this happen when y'all were still in California?
No.
So he was
It
like
was-
the good guy up until,
He was the good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
Okay.
the good guy. Well, he was the good guy to us.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not to her, but we didn't know any of that. She kept all that, to herself until we got to Texas, and then it was just really obvious. And
okay.
Yeah.
Are they still together?
no,
When did they?
no, he was a heavy equipment operator,
Okay.
and a lot of times his jobs would take him out of state. And so one day he said he had a job or whatever, and I called my brother, the middle brother, and I said, he's leaving the state. And he said, I'm bringing the U-Haul. I said, okay. So he left at 5 a.m., I guess, or something, and then we loaded up a U-Haul 7-8 and drove back to California. Took her, took what was hers, took her, and moved to California.
Him and her moved to California.
Me and my brother moved Mom to California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was it. Like y'all cut.
Nope.
Nope.
That's it. That was it. Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
We're not hanging out for any more of this mess.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad that they all did that.
Yeah.
How's your mom doing now?
She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Pam.
Oh, really?
I was already named when they got me, so
Wow. Are y'all
Oh, yeah.
everything better now? With
Well,
that,
I have
with her?
so one brother's in California still. One's in Florida. One's
Okay.
in Houston, and then there's me.
Wow.
So,
They're all over the place.
but we all call her every day, so
That's good.
just about every day.
Did she remarry or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
She married my pop. I call him Pop now. They've been together for 20 years, and she's with him. So
Okay. What would you tell Pam if she was sitting here with us today about the impact of her life on you?
So she was my counselor, and I think I've talked to her actually about this, but when I came from the horrific situation that I was in to her house, she never pushed me necessarily for details, but she always let me know. She was there to talk. If there was anything I needed to talk about, if there was anything I needed to vent or whatever. She let me know it was okay to be a kid. Part of the in the biological household, you just should not be seen, right? You should not be noticed. If you are, then it's not good, right? And I carried that so much through my life. But moving into their house with them with 3 noisy, crazy boys, and she wasn't yelling at them all the time. She wasn't getting on to them for making noise. It was a safe place to be, and it was a safe place to express myself. And I didn't necessarily have to worry, about repercussions like I had to worry before. So
I want to understand what you said. In the biological, you weren't allowed to talk. You weren't allowed to exist.
no, it was physical abuse, sexual abuse.
Okay.
The dad was alcoholic. Mom was mentally disabled is probably good, best way to put it. Definitely slower. So she didn't necessarily understand everything that was going on or how to stop it or how to change it or any of that. So
How did you feel being removed from that environment finally, like permanently?
it was so much relief. So much relief.
Okay. So I'm going to ask again, like, if Pam was here,
Yeah.
what would you say to her?
She was my rescue. She was my salvation from that mess. And she knows that. I've told her that enough.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me about you, Pam. Like, what it is that you do and what you're bringing to this movement that Trinity has told me about?
So I've written a couple of chapters.
Okay.
I wrote in Her Head with Krista, and then I have written in Light in the Valley,
Okay.
and then I started editing some in Her Head, and then it just kind of snowballed
Okay.
into Light in the Valley, a whole lot more editing and stuff. The biggest thing I would say, besides allowing me to write, which I very much enjoy, was the story behind it. Like being able to watch these women and have them be able to tell their story in their own voice. Because so many times, especially if you write and you go traditional publishing, an editor will just kill your
Yeah.
they'll just kill your story. That you got to start all over and redo. And I didn't want that to be the case for these ladies. So it's very important to me that they get to write from their perspective and express it in their words, in their personality.
Okay. What do you do professionally? Oh,
I'm a front desk person for Children's Health.
okay. Good. What is your, like you said you were trying to get your bachelor's. What's your bachelor's going to be in?
Business administration.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
You're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Giving her practice.
Do you have children? Pam?
Yes, I have 2 boys.
Okay. Are you married?
No.
Okay. How's life been? How long have you been a single mother?
Well, I was married for 24 years.
Holy moly.
So
Okay.
I've only been single for 5.
5? Okay. What's single life like for you? I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. How's single mom life?
Well, they're 24. He just turned 24 and 27.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah, they're grown. They're handling it.
Yeah. Wow. Was their upbringing pretty good? Everything?
It was. Their dad has some health issues. Then he compounded it with alcoholism. But it was probably only the last couple of years that were difficult for them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is their dad still around?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's always a struggle. Those types of things are always a struggle.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what is life looking like moving forward for this movement in you. What is your role in this as it goes forward?
Ask me. I will let you know. She's not leaving. I mean, of course, you know.
I very much enjoy it. I really do. There are moments where I want to pull my hair out, but
Yeah.
mostly I enjoy it. And
Is it the other women that cause that, or is it
She
is
better
it
not
Trinity
say
that causes that?
I'm gonna be quiet.
It's okay. We go to church together. We pray all the time.
That's right. That's right. We listen and we don't
Yeah.
judge.
That's right. That's right.
No, this took a hold of me in such a way that I am currently writing a syllabus in order to be able to take this as a class to the women at Highway 80 and allow them the opportunity to explore telling their story in such a way that they are allowed to share their voice.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Man, I was a counselor for many years, and to see people step out and do something like that it's just, and so I heard this term many years ago called these unfunded mandates, which is doing something without the money that one would normally need for it.
Right.
It's pretty amazing to do. It's you can tell that it's a calling instead of it's just something that I want to do.
Right.
So I'm glad to hear that. I hope it works out.
Thank you.
So do some of the women that you deal with in terms of the book, and this is probably a Trinity question too, do some of them still actively deal with some of their trauma or environments as well?
I would say pretty much everybody's writing from the perspective of having come through the trauma, or at least out of the environment. You're never through with the trauma, but out of the environment.
Okay. When you see somebody going through something, or when you see other ladies who might watch this, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them in terms of wanting to tell their story? Some people haven't done it yet. They have not even written it. They're still locked into this
Yes.
room where they're not ready to share anything with anyone.
Right.
What would you tell that person?
It only gets easier the more you do it, which is unfortunate but true. And if that means that you write it yourself 15 times before you're comfortable enough with sharing it, then so be it. But in the case of this cooperative, we're there for each other. We're there to pray with you. We're there to work with you. We're there to hold you. We're there to make sure that you feel seen and heard and comforted, and part of a group, because you're not alone. You're
Okay.
so not alone. All you have to do is read every single one of those chapters and know you're not alone.
Do some of these stories, when they start out, because I'm trying to think of how some people would write. Do some of them initially, are they sharing hatred towards the other individual or towards the people that have done things to them? Like, I wish I could hurt you, or I wish evil on those individuals.
Kind of unforgiveness kind
Yeah,
of point of view.
the lack of it initially,
I would
Have you
say,
seen something come across like that?
so it's really funny, but when they write it, I think in their heads they're thinking, that's they're offering forgiveness, like, okay, I'm coming through it, I'm better or whatever. But you can read in there sometimes that there's still things that they're
Right.
still needing to work through. I don't know that I would say that it was hate. I don't know that I've read anybody who has been either vindictive or hateful or in the telling of their story.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we also want them to tell it from the story of, this is what I experienced, but this is how I'm healing from it. This is how I'm moving out of it, and not to be stuck in it.
No, I think it's really cool what you ladies are doing, giving women a voice. I grew up in a household where my mom kind of has a similar story. She divorced my dad, remarried, and my stepdad was very physically abusive. And she's left him, and then remarried. But just listening to you ladies, I don't think my mom has ever had a voice to tell her story. I think the only time her story gets told is like through me. I don't even hear my other siblings acknowledge or talk about it.
Right.
So I really feel like it's on me to talk about her story, because outside of that, I don't think she deals with it. I think she suppressed that time of her life. But from hearing what you ladies have said, I think it's very important to confront that and talk about it.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad for my mom that she doesn't have that outlet, or no one has given her that opportunity. So I commend you ladies for doing that, because I think it's very important.
Good. Last question, and then we're going to come over. What would be something that you have found the hardest to deal with that you probably haven't shared yet?
Just opened a whole can of worms.
Just open a whole can of worms. So for right now, it is the death of my marriage. And knowing that even though I tried and I did what I could, the constant battle in my brain of what could I have done different, what could I have done better, I have absolutely no desire to be back in that marriage again. But I do not want to carry any of that into the future.
You're still trying to grieve that process? Or
Just not let it eat my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been how long ago?
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of years leading up to that, though.
And it's in the book too. I mean,
Yes.
you can definitely.
It's in the
kinda go
first
a little
one.
bit.
It's
Yeah.
in her head.
Yep.
Yes. And I have
Appropriately.
to commend Pam, because during the process of that story, her son had a wreck, and just the process of going through that, she was writing this chapter and reflecting those feelings about, her ex-husband, and then all of a sudden she had to deal with him in a
Yeah.
sense of not deal with him, but
It
I'm
was
in
a
proximity.
traumatic
Yeah.
car accident.
Uh-huh.
Lots of broken bones and brain injury, and it's a very long road to recovery. That happened June of 23, and we're still having surgeries and having therapy. And
What's your ex-husband's name?
nope.
Okay.
him.
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 Have you said goodbye to him?
Yes. And he's trying. I mean, he's
Is he trying to get back into that relationship?
no.
Okay.
No, but he is trying to get better. He
Yeah.
is trying to recuperate. He was diagnosed with lupus between medications and everything. It was a complete personality shift.
Okay.
Just a complete personality shift.
Man, I don't even want to talk about marriage right now.
We got a question for you later. Don't worry.
What is it about it?
We'll come back. We'll come back.
Should we
Remember,
go
you
and
get
take an
one
application?
question.
Right.
That's all you get.
We're taking applications, okay?
You are single and looking. Is that what you're
Single
saying?
and looking.
All right.
Spiritually grounded, okay?
Well, my problem is I'm picky.
Yeah. Hey, you're entitled to that. You're entitled to that.
Yes, God, Picky, he's good. He's
That's
picky.
right. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Here's a chance for your question.
Okay, so if you had the opportunity to say goodbye to that relationship that you just spoke about,
Oh, I have.
you did. Okay.
The moment she said she wanted a divorce, I said goodbye. Yeah.
There we go, superficial
Yeah.
on top.
Sounds like an angry.
That's
goodbye.
okay, because he just did what I did.
That was a very quick, oh, I have. The moment she said
I
that.
love. Okay, so this is the beauty. This is what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
This is a woman's perspective. Like, you read that right off the bat,
Right.
right? And I love that. That's beauty. That's reality. That's. Don't BS us. Like that's not.
Yes.
That's not
Yes.
true.
You got too
right?
many of
That's
them. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever told her goodbye in person. But there was a moment where I was like, okay, I got to move forward because
Right. Yeah.
there's nothing else here. And part of what made that a little bit easier was when we got married. I told her, because we had a relationship where we were in and out, like splitting up, getting together. And I told her when we were getting married, like, if this marriage doesn't work out, then I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna go. And I was a culprit, so don't think that she did anything wrong. But when she said she wanted a divorce, like, okay, like,
Well, I was going to say,
What-
you're
what
a
I-
precursor of that, of if this doesn't work, this is it.
Yeah.
That's kind of your goodbye.
yeah,
I'm hearing that same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
having kids with you because
Right.
I don't know if this is going to work.
yeah,
I hear that very same thing out of
Yeah.
you let her know there could be questionable in that by saying,
Yeah.
if this doesn't work.
yeah.
Right.
And
That's
so
it. We're done.
I think the bigger thing was coming to terms that I can't be mad at her
Right.
because it was my behavior that did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. If there's someone to be angry at, it's me.
Right.
You know? And so that also made it easier to say,
Yeah.
or I gotta let it go. I'm gonna end the podcast with a question. Pam, if today was your last day on Earth, what advice would you give humanity?
Pain is pain. Just because what you read or hear about someone else seems like yours is trivial does not negate the fact that it is pain.